Can't help but grind when I'm in the hood. I'm down bad, but this money make me feel good. I'm in the kitchen with this bag, trying to cook some good. And if my wops come back, then I know it's good. I said I can't help but grind when I'm in the hood. I'm down bad, but this money make me feel good. I'm in the kitchen with this bag, trying to cook some good.
Yo, 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 hey man, it's time for that Culture for the Street podcast. We back in the streets tonight. Y'all know how we do, y'all know how we coming. But hit them like buttons right now. You did what I'm saying?
right now.
Right now. You did. So we
Don't
gonna
even
talk
take
about
no thought. Just hit the button, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, join the movement. It's culture for the streets, man. If you part of the culture, you supposed to be logged in, nigga.
yeah, man. So 051 Kiddo blazing like hot grease. You did what I'm saying? Like he's sizzling. And he's not the best rapper,
Mm.
but he got the image, the momentum. Um, definitely can ride the beat,
And
and
and,
I
and
and
the
I can.
disturbance he causing. Don't leave that out because he
Oh
came
yeah, for
home
sure. Cause
causing a disturbance.
he raising he raising hell now, but overall he's working.
Yeah, he
You know,
working.
you got some street guys that come in the industry. They do more raising hell than working.
For
With,
sure.
with, with him, he doing both. He streaming every day or every other day. He got hella interviews. You know what I mean? He just dropped a hot track with JHE Ruger. You did what I'm saying? Well, where they going bananas on that his numbers increasing. You feel me?
And his numbers is increasing not because of the music though. The numbers is increasing because of the disturbance he causing and we already know it's a situation, it's a historic situation that's been going on with 051 600 for a very long time. So him going at O Block 600, just 300, just the whole thing, right? He causing so much of a disturbance. It's like he almost became an immediate threat to them because his voice is that big right now. You see what I'm saying? Like once they
Put it
took
like
Duck
this.
away,
He's a breath of fresh air for his section.
oh, he definitely is, and it was needed because we once they lost Duck, they lost Cash not too long after, and they lost Cash when he was in process of trying to gain momentum to get where Duck was at.
Yeah, but it's like you got to think about it. Every these sections, what you name in St. Lawrence, 63rd O Block, they already well known. 051 is well known for spanking ass to the industry, but they never had a voice that's a rapper over there. It wasn't nothing but dudes in the streets, you see.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But you got 051 Kiddo, he's the face of it right now. He indulging all smoke. He
You don't
being
think he going about it?
disrespectful.
You don't think he going about it wrong? Because the way he doing it,
I
he not
mean,
going. He's not. Let's just be honest, cuz the way he going about it, he not gonna last long. We talking about a genre of music and the region it come from. It's reality over music for them. It's not them giving out a false reality over the music. The music is their reality because they dissing they ops. They talking about they talking about what they've been doing to they ops. You see what I'm
um,
saying? So he when I say he causing a disturbance, it's not a good disturbance. It's good for his side because the light being shined on his side. So it's good
true.
for them. But you pouring fire on the smoke that already been there. Not only that, you starting to get yourself in a position. It's not like all the rest of these niggas that's out there dissing. They don't have real platform. They damn near begging to get on these platforms and diss the niggas they into it with and all that. Whereas he got people reaching out to him on these
I mean,
platforms, want to get him on these platforms because he buzzing off the controversy so much, and then he putting out music on top of that. So the controversy is leading to the music buzzing. Now everybody want to know who 051 Kiddo is because we already know who 051 is as the squad, the team, the section. We know what that is, but we want to know what 051 Kiddo mean because Kiddo was gone for a long time. And he really been gone the whole time. The drill scene really been really like having the game on lock. So to come home and then just follow suit, it's like he didn't even polish up in jail. He just said, I'm about to hit the ground running. I'm about to diss all my ops. Now you gotta watch how you move because now it's supposed to be alleged money on your head, which makes this even you already without the money, niggas wanted your head. You see what I'm saying? So now because of the taunting and stuff, it's possible bounties on you. And you have all these platforms now. You got podcasts, you got the music, you got the fact now that you can cut your IG live on, and you're gonna have hundreds, maybe even a few thousand tapping in to see what you finna say about the other side or see what you got going on. Like right now, they buying in the 051 Kiddo.
I mean, he right now he see that he knows how to control the algorithm.
He definitely know how to control the algorithm, but we know how he controlling the algorithm by throwing the worst energy you can probably throw in the atmosphere out.
But
You
that's
get that, the
but
energy
that's
you
how
throw
that
out, you
works.
get it back.
That's how that work. Putting out a positive algorithm coming from Chicago is really like unheard of. The only people that's making a way with showing positivity that's from the streets, and we see that that's your FYBJ Mains and your Tay Savage. They doing something
And
positive.
that's what make me respect FYBJ Maine and Tay Savage that much more because Tay Savage has that reputation for really being out there both feet in the street.
I
So to
mean,
watch him come home and start really standing firm on certain things. Now he got people trying to sign him. You got the platform, you got all the podcasts want to talk to Tay Savage. Then the way he carry himself, he ain't doing no dissing. He ain't following suit with what been going on in Chicago since he been gone. So to come home and more or less show that you a follower by following what everybody else doing, this nigga leading, bro.
of course. I mean, you got to look at the age difference, and we all know when it comes to doing time, like you bump your head too much, it's gonna hurt. You feel me? Some people got to bump theirs 1,000 more times before it really get the ringing.
Hmm.
Some people get it right the first time. Some people get it right the second time.
Hmm.
His situation, he ain't no stranger to doing calendars or have to stand firm in the courtroom and things like that. So when you finally get that break and you get back on the streets and you got interviews, people wanting the interviews, you got people from other countries breaking their neck trying to come to their section and interview. You eventually gonna come to reality like, man, I'm really becoming somebody important in this YouTube world, or
But
however you want to say it.
for that to register to you, you have to be maturing. You got to be growing. 051 Kiddo don't strike me as the nigga that's trying to mature, the nigga that's trying to grow. Yeah, he gonna get some money because he doing these podcasts. Yeah, he gonna make a little bit money because he monetized on YouTube now and he dropping videos and he doing all of that. Yeah, he cool and all that, but at the end of the day, he 051 and he's standing on 051 business. That's more important to him than these platforms that he got in front of him that's at his leisure. You see what I'm saying? Like he don't really. I mean, he cool. He gonna mess with it. But at the end of the day, when they cut the camera off and the interview over and these platforms is done, he done shooting videos. He going back to doing what most of them young niggas doing in Chicago behind the scenes, which is sliding
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah, so uh
And I ain't saying this to say that I don't like 051 Kiddo either, because I like
we
I like
we can't
like
cut no
I'm a
corners
leader
in.
type nigga. So any
Let me
nigga
tell
that stand up like a leader, I acknowledge that. I mess
you,
with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm into saluting
when
niggas
it
that feel like they leaders too,
you
and they
gotta you
stand like that.
you gotta put 051 Kiddo and Tay Savage at the same, because both of them came home the same time. The difference was you got one shaking the internet, disrespecting the dead on all of the fuck shit, and then you got one coming with the positivity. Both of them getting hella interviews. Now it's all about who's gonna have the longevity
But
in the end.
this is where like they different though, because like where
Of course,
we see 051 Kiddo wearing, okay, he hit the block, he in the hood, he got 30 necklaces on, but they're not his because we all know he ain't got money like that. Whereas, okay, yeah, Tay Savage came home, he ain't had money like that neither. His niggas went out and allegedly poked on something, and he running around with VVS's on his neck. Now he's starting to get to so much of a bag. Pretty soon, I'm pretty sure you're gonna see something on his wrist, something on his neck that he went out there and worked to get. You see what I'm saying? So it's a little bit the way they carry themselves is different. Yeah, Tay Savage, one of them niggas, I'm sure, because of things he done did in the streets, that if the wrong people catch him, it's up.
I mean,
Whether he dissing or not. But it's just the fact that he
let, let, let's
leading by
let's
not dissing, bro, because he could be one of them niggas that diss the other side and this is ops, and we going with this move, like, because he got people behind him that's gonna rock out.
you
But he
got. I
choosing not
mean,
to do that, bro.
you got some niggas that play to win, and you got some niggas that's ready to crash. You see what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna say
Like,
Tay Savage ain't ready to crash too, because
no, what but
he
what
definitely
I'm
gonna be
saying,
ready to
like
crash.
when it comes to street shit, he always tell interviewers like, we keeping that off the internet. We ain't on that. You feel
That's
me?
what I'm saying. Straight polish.
Yeah, we ain't what we gonna talk about that for? This is we doing a job right now.
That
That will,
platform don't be for that.
of course, because at the end of the day, what the fuck you trying to do? What you trying to go to chain gang or some shit like that? Or you trying to stay free? So like uh uh like with Kiddo, we talking about an amateur convict that finally got a chance to voice his opinion. Because I'm pretty sure when he was in prison, you wasn't going around the compound disrespecting the op.
We really can't say that because it's a young nigga world. So he could have been one of them niggas that was one of
but
them niggas for the young niggas.
but at the same time, when it come down to disrespecting other gangs in prison, riots pop off, drops don't get made. You know what I mean? So it has to be a
It's politics.
understanding.
It's politics to it for sure.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, you just ain't gonna wake up 5:30 in the morning and walk in the trial hall and just start dropping rakes because you see the op. You feel me?
But then again, can we say that? Because he wasn't in the feds. He was in the
I mean,
state. We don't
of
know
course.
how the state penitentiary work and operate in Illinois because we know in Illinois it's heavy on the GDs, it's heavy on the BDs, it's heavy on the
But
VLs,
it
all divisions, it's heavy on the Mickey Cobras, it's heavy on the Latin disciples, it's heavy on the all of that. That's their prison system. They gang
yeah,
structure is their prison system.
but he done had set he done been settled with his oppositions before and ain't touched now one. So how
Yeah,
that
you got
sound?
a point. You got a point because he did wasn't he locked up with King Von? Didn't he say
That's what I'm saying. That's what
King
I'm
Von took
saying.
a
My
fade
point
for him?
exactly.
So
You
yeah, you
you
might be right.
you so much of a nigga dropping rates, you BDK and all this, right? Okay, how long you and this
But
nigga
he
was
don't
in the
never say nothing bad about Von though. He won't say nothing about bad
no,
about Von.
he said the reason why he did it, he done it, is because people on Von's side disrespected Melly. Like saying Melly got shot in the party, started Harlem shaking. So that's what makes him disrespect Von when people say something about Melly, which he got a point to prove because you disrespect my dog, I'm gonna disrespect your dog. So it's eye for an eye. But what I'm saying is, like I was saying, if you so much of a EBK, all this right here, how could you have a good sleep knowing that you feel some type of way and you living in the same cell as your opposition that you claim you got so much smoke with? So that let a nigga know you ain't all the way like how you say you is. Not probably because you out here on the free world, but when you was just in prison, you did damn near a year in a cell with your ops. Y'all
You
niggas
know what I
probably would
think the
bust the
problem
soup
is?
together.
I think with some of the other Chicago youngins, the world came to know their reputation. The world came to know their reputability, right? Whereas Kiddo was we never knew nothing about Kiddo, right?
Right?
Kiddo did like 10 years, right? So
Right?
that mean a decade you ain't even nowhere to be found on the drill scene. You ain't around no niggas that's important, no none of that. So you're like irrelevant to the genre. You gotta find your niche because at the end of the day, you didn't have no place in the culture. You just was from the culture because it's what you doing is part of Chicago culture. So you came home part of the culture because of that, but you wasn't part of what been going on. So I feel like he stirred the pot like he did to
I
find his
mean,
way into into that situation because the world
that's
didn't know
the
kid. I mean
that's the
051
quickest
kiddo.
that's the quickest way to get noticed, the quickest way to get shot.
Yeah, it is.
And,
But my reason for saying it really is because by us not knowing him and not knowing his backstory for real, like we know King Vons to be and all these other LA Capone and rest
it's
in
a
peace
breath
all
of
the
fresh
youngers in
air.
Chirac, every nigga from every corner in Chirac. I'm not just talking about one section because it's youngers that's losing on every side. Nigga, rest in peace to all of the fallen. But
Yeah, it's
we
like a breath.
sleep on his reputation because we don't know about his reputation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
And
sure. That's
and
why.
051 Kiddo might not be in a position
That's
where he could tell us. You see what I'm
that's the
saying?
reason why I'm saying like, okay, we know about the notorious O Block. We
Mhm.
know about the notorious St. Lawrence 63rd. You did what I'm saying? We know a little bit about Essence, but not too much because G Herbo don't really uh they don't really show too much of the spotlight on Essence, but we getting a piece of 051, which is like a breath of fresh air to uh the drill heads that love the drill culture. Like not even just 051, I wanna I'm paying attention to I'm also paying attention to EBK Juvie from G Herbo side. You know what I mean? Reputable nigga, just like Tay Savage, and like he's one of them ones.
But
I want to see. I want to
just
see
like
his.
while we talking about both of them, and this really ain't off subject because what Tay Savage doing is he ain't trying to get people to squash they problems, but he trying to get the city to tone it down. You see what I'm saying? So I
I
respect
mean,
that because at the end of the day, we done seen other people try to do it. For instance, with King Yella, we seen him try to push the stop the violence card, and violence met him at the front door while he was promoting stop the violence.
I agree.
So me seeing
It
somebody
has
that
to be. I mean, it has to be done correctly,
it does, but
especially
what's
in the
so you
in.
feel like the way King Yella did it wasn't correctly? What wasn't correctly about that? He's shooting a music video about stop the violence. That's where you start. And he's
I
shooting the video
mean,
in the hood. That's where you
he's
start. So we can't
he
really say he
yes
didn't do it
he's
right.
shooting the video. Yeah, that's true. He's shooting the video, but the difference is between the two. You Tay Savage. You when you look at the people that's surrounding him. Some people may look at these dudes like street guys, gangsters, whatever the case may be. He got some praying warriors beside him. He got more than 4, 5 niggas that gonna bump their head and pull that carpet out when it's time to pray. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. What I see in the two. The way Tay Savage moving, he moving on God time.
Yeah. And I think
King Yella was just not saying he's not a God fearing person, but I just felt like that was just like some gang members that's
like
trying
they
to
didn't
stop.
take him serious type stuff, man.
My point exactly. My point exactly. It's a different. It's a difference when you seeing brothers pray in the streets, pray in the trenches. You know what I mean? You see the E man is beside Tay Savage everywhere he goes.
And that's a big picture too, because it's not just showing you that niggas is willing to pray and all of that, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also showing you that niggas is having respect for the elders still.
Yes.
And that's something that a lot of people be feeling like ain't out there.
So
It's still
so
respect out there for the elders. It's just a lot of them ain't getting no respect, and that come from however they deal with the young. Some of them don't deal
so
with the young correctly.
so that's what I mean by Tay Savage is doing God's work. He on his dean. You know what I mean?
And I
Like,
think niggas that even from the other side, I think they take it serious. They know it's not like a gimmick. You see
nah,
what I'm saying? And that's what
nah.
enables him to be able to be around niggas you normally wouldn't see him be around, like FYBJ Main. Niggas like that, niggas would be like, nigga, why you around the ops? And he able to do
Bro,
that because of the vibes he giving off. He really not trying to, if we really funking, then we gonna funk. But we ain't about to argue about it on in front of an
exactly.
audience, you see what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
if we can make certain moves, we ain't got to hang out with each other all the time and do all of that. But if we can be seen with each other and make the public feel like we making we making certain transitions, we trying, it's bigger than everything because that's where you start to make everybody else that got the same reputation be able to be like, you know what, these niggas right.
Mm-hmm. That's why, like, even when he went to New York and he was moving around in these areas in the trenches and things like that, it wasn't that he was coming out there trying to start some smoke or whatever. He was comfortable because his brothers is up there. He got plenty Muslim brothers up there. You know what I mean? And
There's
one
a lot of
thing we
Muslims in New York.
for sure, and one thing about Islam, what I like about Islam, you know what I mean? You got some brothers that's so passionate about Islam itself And when they see something genuine in their brother, you have dudes like Kevin Gates pull up on Savage. You feel me? Pray with him.
Even if you opt and you ain't like the humblest dude, you gonna become humble because at the end of the day, it's a thing. It's just like the gangs they belong to, they nations.
Hmm.
It's the biggest nation though.
It's bigger. It's bigger than, you know
So
what I
at the
mean?
end of the day, you can be this hard head, reckless person, but you gonna learn today. They not gon' you not finna make us look bad. Like we you know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it's a respect there that's unspoken because you know what come with making us look bad as a whole because you got to understand what you represent a whole. So when you go out there and you do certain things that's looked upon a certain type of way and then they look at us and be like, well, that's how these people is. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's gonna be some consequences that come with that. So regardless how young you are, you know that part about that.
You
So
will be held accountable.
what Tay Savage is doing, I respect it that much more because at the end of the day, it kind of takes this. Because at the end of the day, when you see him with elders, we don't know all the elders they be around backstory. These is probably elders that was high ranking gang members in a lot of them neighborhoods. Now they come to find religion and they come to change themselves and transition to something else. And now they outside trying to help the youngins and move
Yeah,
around with the youngins. But they
they
letting
doing
the
God's
youngins
work.
have they not trying to be you could tell the elders ain't really trying to be the voice. They trying to let the youngins be the voice. They
You
just
gotta
being present.
you gotta let the Warriors, you gotta let your THF, Bezoos, you gotta let your Tay Savages, you know what I mean? You gotta let your 051 kiddos, drillers, you have to let them lead the wolves. You know what I mean? Because they are the epitome of the trenches. You feel me? In a section. So it's only right that if they join Islam, they be the leaders to lead the youngsters to righteousness, bro. And I could see and I like I say in the future, I could see a lot more change. I'm not saying in the streets of Chicago, but the culture within the positivity within the young black brothers that what we see in 2023. We thought we would never see this side with this side taking a picture, doing skits, hugging, throwing the deuces, showing unity. And now we seeing it.
And a big part of why I think that was because even the niggas that had power in a section and voice and some types of authority and real top tier leadership didn't want to be one of them ones that wanted to be the first ones to say, you know what, let's try to squash it because he didn't want to be looked upon by his everybody behind him as oh this nigga getting weak
The
because
only
that's how
only
they gonna take that. They not gonna take it like we need to change. We need to. They gonna be oh this nigga scared.
the
So a lot
only
of these
one
niggas
that
didn't
the
want to be
only
the
one
first
that
nigga.
did it that I seen did it publicly, made a song about it, and was laughed was Duck when he did Chicago Legends. And then you had
Yeah.
Bun, Bun like, oh nigga, we ain't on that, bro. Like, you tripping. It's still up what
But
we
the
see.
whole city was like they not on that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you had some was like, whoa, like
And
this
that
is
wasn't even him saying we need to squash everything.
no, he
He was
just
just
was
saluting all the niggas that then lost their life, that then really been
that was
out
a
there like
part
that.
of the culture.
Yeah.
And you gotta think about it. Through all of the music and the algorithm with Chicago, it was never not one song where somebody dedicated, gave everybody they flowers that lost their life, from each section that was special towards the Chicago drill scene. Duck gave everybody their roses, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Chicago culture done changed so much with so many young brothers that done passed away. Um,
And
that I hope this new generation, this upcoming, we got a few hot heads that still, got to bump their heads a couple times.
you can't
I
note them though, cause we gotta note the ones that we see that's making them adjustments to make them changes.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
Fbg Main, he making them adjustments to make them changes. At the same time, he elevating. Tay Savage, he making them adjustments to make them changes. That's necessary. You do so with the good come the bad, but at the end of the day, don't forget to look at what's going on that's good, even though it might be four times as bad going on. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that has to
It,
be noted because it's going when you get okay, if all this stuff going on and then you just pull up in the middle of two sides finna go at each other and they all yelling and you the only one whispering we need to stop, nobody's gonna be listening to you, right? So the
for
ones that
sure.
do pop up in a crowd full of chaos and decide to have a voice other than what's going on with the negativity and actually be heard, we really got to note that because that's where it started.
I
It
mean,
gotta start somewhere, and it's not gonna be easy when it starts in Chicago because we know what going on in Chicago. Every side has took one from the other side. So how can you squash when we changing the names of our neighborhoods to the homeboys we lost in this neighborhood? How can you squash that? So I understand how hard it's really gonna be to squash and get Chicago to tone down what's going on. It's gonna be very, very, very hard. But at the end of the day, some
it's
niggas
good.
gotta try.
It's gonna, what I mean. It's gonna take some real warriors from every section. You feel me?
And I
From
think
every
because of
section.
niggas like J Main and niggas like Tay Savage and I still gotta throw King Yella in there today, even though when he tried it didn't work. But to see what he doing today, because he could indulge in what's going on as a Chicago resident. He can indulge in what's been going on for the last over a decade, but he's not. The nigga is transitioning into other things, and he's succeeding
They
at it.
OG. They
So
OG.
he really an
Yeah.
example, just like Tay Savage is an example, just like FYBJ Main is an example, because these are people that really come from that and they showing you we don't have to be stuck on the corner. We don't be having to be stuck in a stolen car riding around looking for the enemies. We could be stuck trying to chase our dreams and our goals and and just our living and won't have an excuse for why we need to be outside on the corner.
I,
They
I mean,
examples of that.
you gotta look at the age. You gotta look at the age. If a nigga in his late 30s and his 40s still doing the same shit he was doing when he was 14, 15, a little shorty out there, then he don't have no purpose in life. So it's either you evolve or the little homies they gonna be laughing at you like you are used to. You feel me? Like that's like if they were to see King Yella out there on the block right now, they'll be like, man, this nigga been on the same block since motherfucker Lil JoJo did uh the BDK this and he's still out here. You feel me? Like you gotta evolve.
And that make you look just as bad as a nigga that you looked at was scared to be out there like that.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, how is you that old and you still in the same place? It's the same level of terrible.
it's a disgrace to manhood because you ain't get no money. All you did was take losses, put your homies in the grave, catch PTSD. But where's your success? You
And shout
feel
out
me?
to SNTV News, man, Street News TV.
Shout
Cause
out.
I be watching his Street Legends episodes, and he did say one thing in one of them episodes, and he was like, "It's a lot of talent in Chicago, but one thing that you do have to do when your talent start to gain some type of traction, you start to get noticed and acknowledged that much more for what you doing. It's time to leave."
Get the hell on.
The only problem with that though is everybody don't necessarily be in a we got to think about it. A lot of the people we talk about, a lot of the people that we see in the Chicago drill scene, a lot of them do not have the money to get up and leave. Okay, I understand he made 3 videos and you like them all. That doesn't mean he has enough money to pack up and go chase his career in California, Atlanta, Florida, wherever he may want to go. You see what I'm saying? Because it costs. And when you've been sitting in the hood just playing a certain part, that don't mean the part you've been playing gonna provide for what you need to be doing. Cause you in a situation where you doing what you have to do to even survive in the first place.
I agree. You just gotta set goals, um, stand bound, and make the next move your best move. You feel me? Don't let nobody goddamn get in between that, intervene. None of that. You must stay focused at all times.
At all times.
Yeah. But this all we got for y'all on this episode. It's time for that Coach for the Street, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to the channel. Y'all know what it is. Hit them like buttons.
Ding, ding,
Drop,
ding, ding, ding. Ding,
and
ding, ding, ding,
drop a
ding. What
comment
we
too,
gotta do
man.
to get y'all to hit the like button. Make sure we got
I talk to you niggas like this and shit. To
Yeah,
get you niggas to
man.
hit the like button. Hit the like button, nigga.
Straight
Like
up.
that.
And
It's
we
time
gone.
for that.
Culture for the streets, nigga. We out of here.